Hello and welcome to the World Mixed Double Curling Championship 2013. We're coming to you live from the Grant Harvey Centre in Fredericton, New Brunswick. My name is Sarah Carlson, and once again I'm joined by the very knowledgeable and also surprisingly fast runner, Dean Gemmell.
Glad to be here, Sarah, after my convincing win in our short 50-meter sprint.
Well, this feature game is between Canada and Spain. Both teams on one win and one loss. You see the standings here in Group A. We have 3 groups here in the Mixed Double Curling Championships. There's a total of 27 teams participating.
Canada at 1-1. Spain still looking for their first win in the event.
Well, they actually beat Romania this morning,
yes,
so
they
are
did.
1-1.
So they're both 1-1. That was just shown Canada, led by Robert Desjardins and Isabelle Néron, coached by Jim Waite.
And the lineup for Spain is Sergio Vez and Iranzo Garcia. They have a Canadian coach who is new to this team, Rebecca Atkinson. Canada won the last stone draw, and they will have Hammer playing the red stones.
See the teams coming out to get set to play. A few of the differences are the mixed doubles rules. Mixed doubles, of course, played with 2 players instead of 4, as in traditional curling. 1 male and 1 female. No alternates are allowed in mixed doubles play. Same sheets of ice as traditional curling. Same scoring in the end in terms of who's closer to the center. But each team has 6 stones each, and 1 stone for each team is positioned before play starts at the start of each end. The team with hammer places their stone at the back of the button. The team without hammer places a centerline guard. The order of play is different than traditional curling. 1 player, player 1 we usually call him, delivers stone 1 and 5 of the end. The other player delivers stones 2, 3, and 4. They can alternate who plays what position throughout the game in each end. Sweeping can be done by both team members. And if a team blanks an end, they do not retain hammer, which is different than traditional curling. 46 minutes of playing time per team. Games are fixed at 8 ends versus 10 ends in traditional World Championship curling.
And here you see the pre-positioned stones. Of course, Canada has hammer. They will start with 1 stone back of the button. Spain will have a center guard to begin with, and first call, as always, is the freeze. And what's important to think about with this shot?
Are you asking me, Sarah?
Yes.
Yes. Well, really, you want to be short is better than deep, of course, and even top 8 here is a pretty good play versus back 8 is pretty much basically an advantage to the other team right out of the gates. You don't want to tick this one either in this position. You don't want to move this guard. You want to have good line get by. That's not the best result because you end up with a couple corner guards. The team with last rock here, Canada, will put 1 in the top 8. Not much different than traditional curling in that a few feet short is always usually better, but it's even more important, it seems, in mixed doubles than in traditional curling.
Isabelle Néron playing stones 1 and 5 for Canada.
Robert Desjardins has come out from the rings to sweep this one. Each team does have to have a player in the beyond the far hog line in the end they're playing towards when the stone is played.
I think it's a good thing the way this Canadian duo is doing it, that Robert's actually running up to help with the sweeping, and Isabelle can call line from where she's sitting rather than you chasing your own stone and trying to catch up with it and then also sweep.
I saw Robert Desjardins sweeping with a slider on practice. I'm not quite sure why he doesn't do that in games, because it seems to me it's a more efficient way to get out to the stone with a slider on.
You're going to need to ask him.
Yes, I didn't get a chance down there.
Sergio Vez playing for Spain, looking to come down and freeze on these Stones just played by Canada.
Sergio's 18 and plays out of Spain. They don't have any dedicated curling facilities in Spain. They play on skating ice. That's a pretty fine shot for someone who's playing on skating ice, especially typically. They travel throughout Europe to play on dedicated ice, but primarily they're left to practice and train on ice that they share with skaters, which is less than ideal, as curlers know.
Yes, their coach for this week, Rebecca Atkinson, she said that was one of her main jobs. Like, she's played in a couple of Scotties for New Brunswick, so she will know more about this type of ice and stones, and she can be here to share that wisdom with the Spanish team. Might not be used to the amount of curl in this surface.
So the Canadians, they have, whether it's Robert or Isabelle, they both come out from the rings to sweep, leaving the shooter just to call line.
Just gets by the guard here, and
not a bad result early in the end. Over curled on him.
Wiggle things around, and they are behind the tee line, but they do have kind of a semi-corner right there. It might not be the worst.
And the way he has it rearranged those stones, that yellow can go through that hole. Might lose one red, or might be able to even get it through cleanly. I'm not quite sure. Might go clean if they get a chance at it.
Yeah, but Sergio Vess is going to try and lock another one on here. Sure, for him to stay maybe a little bit short would be okay too. They are shot stone at the moment, but it is a lonely one.
Buena.
Giving a Spanish sign for plenty of weight there. No shortage of effort on this one. A pretty nice result. Pretty nice delivery for a young man who's having to play on skating ice. Locked that in there pretty well.
Yeah, definitely going to make it hard for Canada to score on the two red ones that you see on the left.
Ouais, c'est ça. Elle a reculerait. Le problème, c'est qu'il va retirer un... OK, elle l'enlèverait comme backing. OK. Bumper? Même balai m'a tiré 10 pieds plus fort. À cabot.
So I think they want to try to free their back one a little bit off the one that Sergio just locked onto, and maybe at the same time come off it and move the other yellow stone in the rings. Definitely need to free up that that one red, the red that Sergio just came down to.
No.
This one, Robert is going to chase. I think he should chase rocks more often, actually. He's right there.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Punch that through the hole and free up the yellow. Pretty nice result.
Ça a rendu l'autre jaune vulnérable.
Oh, c'est parfait. Juste que cette jaune-là va dire
I don't know if he could have done much better than that.
No, it's a really good result. Question is, do you freeze or do you make the double? Or is there anything else?
Hombre, esa está bastante protegida. No está mal. Igual la salida viene siempre aquí.
Ya, pero yo creo que luego se va. ¿Y esto?
Pero yo igual te cargas esta, ¿eh?
Ya, pero ¿qué importa eso también?
El problema de esto es si por lo que sea te vas o lo que sea.
See Jim Waite and Rebecca Atkinson right there. Coaches are really close to the
Si dejamos aquí,
ice and the players.
aquí es que ellos vienen delante, justo.
They picked her up as a coach. She got a jacket and everything. Does she have her name on the jacket or just?
Pero fuerza va solo.
I don't know. I wouldn't
no,
think
she's
so
un
because
draw.
she only
Sí,
came on the
she's
team on
like a-
Friday.
Yes. I was going to say it would be a fast embroidery job.
So the freeze is a call here.
Te doy más, porque aquí está bien.
He did just play two very nice draws.
He did. If he can lock another one on here, can make it difficult for Canada. This has to be. I mean, the Spanish stone still in the rings is pretty much fully buried. Actually, it's fully buried. Rock's on its way, and he's after it.
Go.
Fuerza es buena.
Sí.
¿Seguro?
I like the rotation he's throwing. A lot of rotation. Looks like a pretty positive
La
release.
tienes, sí, sí.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Seems like they've been well prepared to play on this championship ice.
Yeah, for players that haven't had a chance like that. May not be the best spot for that, but
Simplemente que rebote ya.
Question is what happens if Canada hits this though.
Ya, pero
yeah, if they
A
hit
couple
this
of
with
red,
some
they're gonna
weight,
go probably.
yeah, they're gonna. And that one yellow looks like it probably doesn't go anywhere. The yellow on the left in the forefoot
Il n'y a pas de chance qu'elle
might be
aille
able
là.
to catch it and spill it towards the
Si
back
t'as
though.
pas plus off nose,
Elle s'en va là-dessus.
elle s'en va sur elle
Il n'y a
pareil.
aucune façon de la passer par-dessus. Si on jouait, on essayait de venir, en fond maison, puis les celles-là,
It's another battle of the Romance languages.
lui, il n'y en a rien qu'une. On en a 1 million. Il peut essayer de redrawer encore.
Saw Canada play Italy earlier.
Ben,
Quebec team from
j'essaierais,
Quebec,
moi.
or the Canadian team from Quebec.
Ouais, celle-là va
Chicoutimi.
peut-être pas toucher à elle. Eh, Seigneur. Ça dit, c'est pas beau.
I'm
les
lost to
angles,
all of these languages, so you're gonna
C'est pas
need
beau,
to
mais ça va
translate
être
Dean.
encore moins beau
I'm
si
afraid
ça
I won't be a
ramasse
huge
deux.
help.
Nous autres, on n'a pas fait une belle shot.
Ça se peut que je tire et qu'il soit encore 2 shots. Là.
Ouais, mais il
peut
va
que
y
les
avoir
quatre
moins,
rouges sortent.
il va y avoir moins de backing. OK. Let's go.
Okay, I think means that they've agreed.
They're in agreement. I think you're going to see this throwing hard. You might be able to catch a bit of if the yellow comes off the high red, might spin it out the back a little bit, lose at least one red, maybe more, but at least move that yellow to a spot that's advantageous to Canada.
Yeah, open up the scoring area. And maybe leave some red around. Could
I think he would leave some red around. I think that clips the high red and might spin it towards the back.
we're gonna see what happens right here.
On its way. I don't think he's going to chase this one with peel weight.
Curl!
Needs it to move.
Curl! T'es prêt à brosser?
Needs it to move. Oh,
Qu'est-ce que je te disais, Isaac?
not what he wanted to do there.
Ben, au moins, ils sont plus backés. ils sont
Yellows
plus
didn't go
vulnérables.
anywhere.
Take une shot.
Je sais bien, mais... Ces jeunes à lui sont rendus derrière le T. Ils sont plus en avant. C'est que tu veux, il avait fait ses bottes hier.
So each team with one stone to play still.
Eso es, sí, sí, está bien.
Spain can actually put quite a bit of pressure on Canada here.
¿Vale?
It's a good shot. Isabelle Neron will have a very difficult task to score one.
I think this is just a straight guard from Garcia. Good to see that she's not stressing. We've seen a lot of players just really be in a hurry. Yeah,
Casually
knows-
took a drink of water there and
Yeah.
gathered herself
Just important to be focused,
and hydrated.
definitely. Once again, you are the expert on curling fitness.
Not hydration though. Entirely different subject matter. Nice delivery here
Línea
too.
es buena. ¿Dónde?
Fuerza también.
Maybe a
Tío,
little
así.
softer release than her teammate.
¡Sí!
Un poco más de ti.
¡Oh!
Es un poco más.
¡Oh!
This rock might curl a little too much. I think this one is going to over curl. It's a touch heavy. And unfortunately, that leaves Isabelle Néron with a fairly routine shot to score one. They need to leave that one higher and not have it curl right behind that guard. I think if she hits this nose to anywhere on the low side, Canada scores one. Doesn't want to hit it too low. Doesn't like it. I think she's all over the guard. And that will be a big three for Spain in the very first end.
Steal of three even.
Steal of three for Spain against Canada.
Well, they were really making some really nice freezes in that first end. Really just that one mistake from Iranzo.
Yeah, Sergio Vez made two very nice freezes. And it looked as if Isabelle Néron tipped that one on a release, dropped that in turn, as we like to say. And never really had a chance.
And of course, we have a whole bundle of games going on here in the Grant Harvey Center this evening. Russia is playing reigning world champions Switzerland. Swiss got a 1 in the first end there. Italy also scored 1 against Korea. And China took a big 4 on Romania in the first end. Romanians just not really off to a great start here in Fredericton.
I think Romania certainly falls into one of the developing nations when it comes to curling, but they're enthusiastic. Comes Aranzu Garcia with her first shot at the second end. Playing the come around with a 3-0 lead.
She doesn't seem... Oh, it's flashing red.
Red light. Of course, if you are going
Can you check it?
So we should maybe... They were either going to have this checked.
So can you check it?
Oh, yeah, we hear Sergio saying this, and the rules are if the players feel like she has released it before the hog line, they need to check the stone, and if it's green, well, that's actually quite close.
That one is quite a bit closer than the one we saw today. That might have been a violation. Let's see. We saw it. Yeah, that's awfully close too. Especially if she double touched it, I'm not sure.
They're probably going to check it, and if they find a mistake with this handle, then she will get to replay it. But no, hogline violation, I think.
Looks like they're going to continue play. In our first game of the day today, we saw the Swedes have a unlucky break when a handle did seem to malfunction. But that, I think, I don't think that handle malfunctioned. I think the operator did.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it on the replay. So Spanish team need to just shake that off and keep playing. And Isabelle Néron need to get past the guard.
Isabelle Néron is off to a tough start here.
If with those guard now checked, if Spain can get a good draw in, Canada will be in some trouble.
We've got our Twitter hashtag up. Hashtag WMDCC 2013. If you're tweeting, use that as your hashtag. And questions are welcome via Twitter or Facebook to us. If you have questions about anything from the Swedish word for wreck.
I think we covered that.
Yeah, I just want to explore it some more. Sergio Vez had a great first end. See what he brings in the second end.
He'd love to put Canada in trouble with a good freeze here.
I like the way he throws the rock. I like the rotation on it. I like the positive release. He's got a good line here. Pretty nice rock.
Tampoco, o sea, yo te decía que no por fuera, pero al final, ¿cómo has apurado mucho? Pues ya, me ha dicho como es, sí,
I think
pero
Robert
ya-
Desjardins has a decision to make here. Is he going to
Pero porque cuando ha dicho
try to
por
play
fuera,
into the
todavía
rings? He is.
mucho hueco.
And you're off to a down 3-0 right off the rip.
Well, remember, he's not allowed to hit yet.
Right.
I don't think so. We need to count. Oh, well, yeah, he would be allowed
could
to
hit
hit with
here.
this one, yeah.
4th rock at the end.
I forgot about the one that was in the hack.
So he could play a peel if he wanted to sort of gather himself here, but he's going to play into the rings. He's coming after this one himself. They're both out. Now they don't have anybody to call line with 2 sweepers. This looks short.
Yeah, they probably don't need anyone to call line on this one. They just need to sweep it.
Canadians are off to a tough start here. Just not executing.
No, and they had a big struggle against the Swiss too.
Yeah, I talked to Jim Wade about that. He said a couple things early didn't go their way, or the game could have been different. He was lamenting how mixed doubles can turn on a couple of shots. It's probably true of regular curling as well, traditional curling. But I think no lead is especially comfortable in mixed doubles curling. Really hard to defend a lead, but still nice to have one. So I think Spain being up 3-0 is a lot happier than being down 3-0. Sergio Vez lighting it up so far. Let's see what he does here.
Línea bien.
I think his out turn looks really good.
Sí. 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 Sí.
He's going hard on this.
Sí.
Looks like
Does not look short on weight, but he is past the guard.
nice
and
line again. If they can get it even. Certainly the pro side miss, though.
Yeah, definitely won't make it for a second shot, but
Doesn't really matter. That's a great shot.
yeah.
Playing to within their tolerances really well right now. Outside of a red lighted rock and one that the last one in the first end that Aransu got started a bit and over curled.
No.
I think Robert Desjardins is now thinking he has to bail out of here and get something so that his teammate Isabelle Néron will have some kind of shot to score one as last. Not happy. Robert is known as an emotional player. You'll see a lot of expression on the ice from him usually when we've seen him in Canada in men's play. He's represented Quebec at the Tim Hortons Brier twice in 2011 and 2012, skipping in 2012.
Oh, and that was close. That was a hog line
And
violation
red-lighted.
as well.
Yes, another red light. This game is turning disastrous for Canada.
Two hog stones in one end. When
Two
did
red
you
lights.
last see that? I think that was actually a hog line violation too.
There's no hogline violations on the first day, and we've seen 3 now today, 2 in one game. And Spain is in a really enviable position. Canada's going to have a very difficult time scoring in this end. And as this Spain continues to gather momentum here, we'll see how it affects their play, but they're playing with a lot of confidence at this point.
I think they might be drawing the intern side here, but it's just going to keep playing the path that they have been playing all end.
Green light, so we're good to go from that perspective.
¿Dónde está?
Ahí.
I don't think he's
Sí.
light.
I think they're just guarding all of this.
Yeah, I'm just going to put another one up here to. I would like that maybe a little wider, but not bad. Canada with just 2 shots to play has to figure out how to make something out of this to give themselves an opportunity to score even one. And it looks like Robert Desjardins is going to try to play this in-turn draw. He's going to have to get awfully close to that high red guard.
Yeah, and how do you get shot with this?
This can't look good from the hack either. He's not, you know, would have to, there's no way you can get it to move that yellow, so I think he's thinking if he can just freeze one in there, he might give his teammate a chance to somehow score one under last.
Need to be perfect. Desjardins with this.
Sounds like he's light. Said gotta go early. Got a lot of room by the guard. I mean, at this point, he might even be thinking that he just doesn't want to give them an opportunity to steal two.
Pero línea, Irán. Tienes que ir a línea. Cae mucho. Irán.
Canadian coach Jim Waite back there surveying the situation, not seeing much he likes about it, I'm sure. They're going to guard.
Oh, Spain just going to guard that side too.
Es que hay que guardar este lado.
I mean, basically
Aquí no
about all
vale.
if they left that, Canada does have the slash in for two. So they may as well take that away, and I don't see how Canada scores.
Por ahí no me parece mal, porque tienes la roja un poco.
Pero línea,
Sí.
They could play the guard inside out here, but we see that path taken so rarely in mixed doubles.
Set. No pasa. Oh.
Is she going to? No.
It's going to be short, and they will have a slash for two now, Canada. That might have been the time to play that with the out turn, you know, to try to cover it that way, so rather than trying to go really wide and guard that.
Yeah, tough end for Garcia. One hogged and the other one short of the hog line.
Fait que tu
And
veux
they're still
combien,
positioned
Kulak?
to steal here. I guess Izzy Belniron needs about half a raw,
Hein?
Une demi-roche avec hack.
maybe a thick half.
Yeah, a good chance to get back in the game. It was looking pretty awful for them.
Looking dire. It still is a difficult shot for, at least it's for shot for two.
Yeah, last stone of the second end. Slash run back for Canada to maybe score a deuce here.
Isabel is really struggling so far, and I think this isn't going to curl enough and sail by.
So another steal for Spain. They're going to have a 4-0 lead after two ends. Are you surprised to see this?
I think most observers of curling at any format would be surprised that Canada was down 4-0 to Spain, but all power to the Spanish side here. They played awfully well. I mean, that end they actually had two tough misses on the 1 and 5 rock, but in between there, in the burger section of the lineup.
Keep pushing that, do
Yeah,
you?
I'll keep pushing. I'm still looking for better alternatives, but they had some fine shots in there. And they've had Canada under pressure the whole game. Even in the first end, Canada was fortunate to have a shot to score and then missed it, but they were fortunate to even have a shot to score. Some discussion with the officials about that, about the handle on that rock, but it did look to us like it was a legitimate hogline violation, as opposed to the one we saw earlier today that really clearly looked like it was released before the hogline. Two hogline violations in one end, one for each team.
Let's hope that the players have adjusted and that Iranzo Garcia will manage to start off with a good one here. She's 20 years old, started curling in 2003. And she has a bit of a more softer release than her teammates.
Yeah, she
as
does.
you mentioned earlier, and this will curl more. So second time we've seen that opening. Last time it worked out well for them, but you gotta think this is beneficial for Canada.
Yeah, there really are two different releases on the Spanish side. Not vastly different, but Sergio definitely has the more inside-out release. That's something of his favor. Isabel Nero, 43 years old. Took 3 years, came back to the game this year after fighting breast cancer for the past 3 seasons, so a terrific story. I think she's throwing it soft as well, though. I mean, every rock she has is over curling right now. And that rock wasn't really even close. Light and tight. She is going to get frustrated shortly if she doesn't start to make some shots.
Meanwhile, this freeze seems to just be bread and butter for Sergio Vez.
Seems to have this locked in. This young 18-year-old. See if he locks another one on here as he has previously. That looks like a good championship surface release.
Yeah, you see he's got nice extension there and lots of rotation.
And a little bit on this for line, I think, but he's going to move it. Robert Desjardins going to sweep it for a little more separation. Not the perfect freeze he wanted, and certainly an opportunity now for Desjardins to open up the scoring area with last rock.
They are allowed to hit now, and they could get some separation here.
Looks like he's going to play this with probably hack. So Isabel indicated that she would come out to sweep this one versus Robert coming after it. I'm a little surprised the Canadians don't have that sorted out in advance, that they're switching from from stone to stone. It seems to me that my own feeling is that on a shot like this, it's probably best for the shooter to chase it. Oh, he's coming out after it though. Perhaps they changed thoughts.
Really, really curling on them here.
Really tight here as well. Canadians are really going to frustrate. They might get a little lucky and spin this one in for. There's a little bit of action there. I think it's spun in for third shot, which was fortunate for them if it did.
Yes, but first shot still belongs to Spain.
But Canadians, quite frankly, just aren't making any shots right now.
No. Sergio Vez is going to drop top 8 foot, half buried. Create a Christmas tree situation, right, Dean?
Yeah, a Christmas tree here would be really nice.
It's the new word I've learned for the week.
If he just comes across the half buries it behind the high guard. Doesn't even really need the full Christmas tree effect here, but tuck it a little bit behind the high guard in the 8 foot. Another player is sweeping on the offside, right?
Well, he actually switches.
He switches which is actually a good strategy, because we see, of course, the top players all switch in traditional curling. Who's next to the stone? So he switches according to what he wants the rock to do. Switched right there, and there you see a Christmas tree. The only thing is, he probably didn't want to leave that one exposed at all. So the Christmas tree really probably wasn't the way to go with this one, because it is available to Robert Desjardins.
Yeah, and he can still get the roll and
he can
sit
roll
too.
Yeah, I don't know how much weight he can throw and how far he can roll, but he can certainly sit two. And he might be able to roll over behind cover.
So good deep breath here and focus. Forget about the past. Let's just come by the guard.
Yeah, this is the time when the Canadians are really going to have to regroup. They are struggling, and they're going to have to ask for a little more ice. They haven't left anything wide, that's for sure so far. Just as I say that, one needs to move an awful long way right now. Just as I mention that, they sail one by and clip their own out.
Really not catching any breaks here.
This is not the game they imagined having.
So easily happens though when you're on the guard with your first and you want to make sure that you give it a nice positive release, and then it's just too much.
He asked for a little more ice when he settled in the hack and sailed by. So now Spain again with a great opportunity to really put the pressure on and make it extremely difficult for Canada to score again.
Sergio Vest putting on a bit of a one-man show out here on the ice today.
He is, the 18-year-old putting on a mixed doubles clinic. Sweeping on both sides of the rock, according to what he needs it to do. Yeah, he's going to switch here because he wants to sweep to promote a little more curl. Now they're going to let it die right there.
A good guard.
And Canada's in a heap of trouble here. Robert is scratching his brow and holding his chin and wishing he was perhaps somewhere else right now than on this curling ice.
Yeah, that is some troublesome body language from Canada right now.
Looks like he's going to try to run the yellow in. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Just never a good thing to be doing. At least try to open it up so his teammate has a chance for something on her last. Of course, she's been struggling mightily, so. I mean, his best chance is probably either to clip the one out in the forefoot or even the high one, roll his shooter away, give himself a chance on give his teammate a chance on her last. Jim Waite looking glum behind Robert Desjardins for good reason right now.
Here you see it, lonely Redstone traveling down and make the double on the guards.
Doubles the guards off, pushes that one through. It's better, but with a well-placed stone by Aranzu Garcia, it won't be better for long.
No, just going to guard this up and, well, they don't want to leave that double for two. So going to come down 12 foot here.
Or do they? You know, sometimes when you're this stage in the game, you sometimes think, well, if I leave somebody a chance at a double and they try it and they're not playing well and they miss it, it's not the end of the world. I might get two.
But if they take away the double, though.
Yep.
Just by kind of coming in, guarding the shot stone, but overlapping the top one a little bit.
Yeah, I think if they just touch the center line or just cross the center line a bit with this guard. Her release, as we've noted, is softer than her teammates, so we'll see how if they're icing for a little bit for that. This looks like a little better line than some of her previous ones, though.
Yeah, it seemed like she was pretty much out there with this. And needs to get this first over the hog line. And
take it a little further yet. Of course, the long guard there isn't the worst, but it doesn't really take a whole lot. The double is available.
Double is available for two.
Tell you what, this would be a cheap two, I'd have to say, the way this end is gone. But basically a nose-hit double.
Yeah, so that would be the importance of Desjardins' stone actually spinning in when they wrecked on the guard earlier.
Exactly. Isabel Neron, it's on its way. It's close. I think it's going to over-curl, though. No, she's over-curling. Going to just take out one. Canada goes down 5-0 at this point.
Yeah, so 3 ends played. Spain 5, Canada still to score in this game. And meanwhile, on the other sheets, Switzerland still leading the game over Russia, now 3-0. Korea with a 3-1 lead over Italy. They're just starting the 4th end, Italy with hammer. And China took one and then stole one against China, but China still leading that game, 4-2. So Iranzo Garcia seemed like she'd found a very good release with her previous stone. Now she just needs to find the weight.
Yeah, she has hogged one, and that last guard just barely got over the hog line. But when your teammate's making everything, it gives you a bit of confidence. Line here looks pretty good. Now it's starting to go. She has crashed on this guard repeatedly. She's not going to do that here, though.
No, far better result for Spain here. Not all the way down to the freeze, but still in a very usable position.
Yeah, a good spot for that. Would like it a little deeper, but it certainly gives you an opportunity to close down the scoring area. Canada going to play more of a traditional curling shot here for a traditional lead shot, where you're trying to corner freeze on the one that's behind the guard and create some better angles for you. Robert Desjardins is caught up to that rock about halfway.
Oh, it's really breaking on them now.
Breaking hard, and Isabelle Neron is light again, I think. She's been light on a lot of shots. Well, if a team has an injury at the World Mixed Doubles, they have to forfeit the game. They cannot replace the player. There's no alternates.
Well, that was a good answer. We had a question in on Twitter from Cheryl McLeod.
I know that from listening to you last year, Sarah, to be honest. It came up last year.
Well, you are welcome for all the information.
Thoughtful research I did in advance of this event. I actually listened to you cover this last year. And that question came up. I brought my shoes, hoping that perhaps I saw no alternates, and I thought that maybe if there was an injury, I might be able to slip in for somebody.
Would you do that? Leave me alone.
I would. I'd get out there. Yeah, you'd be able to do this broadcast, this webcast, unfettered by me, which I think you'd enjoy. You know what unfettered means?
No, and I think I would miss you. And I'm also a little bit offended that you would just leave me like that.
Well, for an opportunity to get out there, sure.
Well, let's change the subject.
Well, I can't get out there. There's no alternates, no. And so I couldn't even go play for the Americans if they needed me. Sergio Vez, so far, putting on a mixed doubles clinic. Let's see what he does here. I really like the way he throws the rock. This might be a little tighter, though. But yes, well, I'm talking about Sergio Vez putting on a clinic in mixed doubles. He did play in the World Mixed Doubles as early as 2009, and his teammate started in 2010. So, and actually finished 4th in 2010. So this is not they finished 4th in 2010, so this is not a team that is coming out of nowhere. First run at mixed doubles for Sergio, he finished 22nd. Following year, he came back and finished 4th. So there you go. Right now, Robert Desjardins is wondering what sort of freight train they ran into in this game. They're going hard on it now. Whoa.
Oh, maybe a chance to set 2 here.
And Robert Desjardins saying that's good enough. I think at this point he's looking for anything. That was a good result, actually.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of hits from Spain, but I think they can see the outside of this. Do you think they could maybe just play the slash double?
Slash double might be there. It looks like they can't see a lot of it, though. It's not a... It's not going to be an easy slash double. And if they do rack on the guard, I think there's a real good chance for Canada to get 3.
So they're actually running this guard down. Yeah, they can't see a lot of that stone in the house.
No, just a sliver. I think even if they catch the sliver, they just jam it onto the other red. I don't know. You know, this shot, if he ever floats it out a little bit,
it's dangerous.
Drills it right onto his own yellow, wouldn't be good.
And it's been on fire so far. Let's see if it's the same with that big weight. Don't think he's wide.
Not wide. They're calling for sweeping, so once again he's missing the correct way. Certainly wasn't going to err on the high side and jam it in on his own counter in the top 8 foot.
But it's looking better for Canada than in the previous ends. Sitting 2 with hammer.
This is really the first end they've had anything going. We're at the midway point here, the 4th end. Canada with 3 rocks to play, Spain with 2 rocks to play. Well, I mean, I think if Desjardins can come in and freeze on his own on the back, he might be able to chip off the red stone that he just put there. Now we're starting to see some of the Desjardins fire. Well, rubs off the yellow. Sergio Vez quickly sizes it up and sees a double or even a triple opportunity here.
Yep, just gonna bang it straight in there and remove as much as possible.
See, he threw that peel a little tight, but he certainly seemed comfortable throwing it hard, so we'll see how he throws it hard here. Maybe playing on skating ice that's slow might actually teach you to throw it hard. So we'll see how that see if that theory holds up right here.
Yep, maybe our peel weight is just the way he throws normal back in practice.
I think he can make a triple if he sort of puts it right through the hole, right? Catches a bit of each, and the one he hits carrying on through. It's a nice delivery with big weight.
Well, gets rid of 2 and sits right in front.
Gets rid of 2 and leaves both of, a wall of yellow in the front there. So another good result.
Really good result for Sergio Vez.
Yeah.
I think the Canadians there can do nothing but congratulate him on a nice shot.
Which they did.
Yep. Spirit of curling for you right there.
Even as much as they're not enjoying themselves in this game, they did compliment him on his play there. It's good to hear and see. Not exactly sure what Robert Desjardins is playing here. I'm not sure if he's coming around the yellows, which he certainly could. It looks like he gave that a quizzical look out of his hand.
What's a quizzical look?
Well, he looked a bit confused by it out of his hand, as if he was... I think he's just coming to the...
He's just trying to kind of angle freeze onto this.
And give certainly... That is not ideal. I'm not sure that shot was really all that well advised. I think he either had to make a play on one of those top yellows, get rid of them, or come around the whole pile to the back forefoot. I mean, now I think if Spain ever crossed that red on the low side, they could spill it out the side, and their yellow would stick on the red that's counting, that shot rock right now.
Yeah.
Cross it just a hair. See how conservative they play here. They're playing, I think.
They're not even looking at that side, though.
Yeah, they're not. It doesn't seem like it's that hard a shot. I mean, they just have to cross that red a little bit, and would go over the top of the yellow, out to the right-hand side. Their yellow would take out the yellow that's counting now. They would sit probably at least 3.
Yeah, there's definitely enough space past the guard.
Well, I guess it is slightly risky, but they're going to get rid of at least 1 red. See if they're looking at it now. No.
Línea, acuérdate de la fuerza, eh?
And I guess they've decided at this point that if they just give Canada 1, they take a 5-1 lead into the break and would feel pretty good about things.
Well, they would feel pretty good with a 5-1 lead, I guess.
Yeah, I think they should.
Iran.
This is another one that she's left. I'm starting to wonder if she has a bad rock, because they haven't exactly jumped on it right out of her hand every time.
No, she's been pretty far out with both those straws, but still.
It's 2 rocks that she's hogged in that sort of play, and one that just barely made it over. I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's a slow rock. That I talked to you earlier, Sarah, about how it's a little harder in mixed doubles to pick up bad rocks, and then if you have a rock that maybe is suspect, you're not always exactly sure what to do with it.
No.
Where to throw it in the order. Because you can't always get, you can't assume that you're going to have a hit all the time. So difficult to decide what to do with it.
Yeah, and as you said, also maybe a bit more difficult to identify the bad stones.
And I think this is a very good set of rocks. And Hans Wuthrich's rocks are using at the TSN skins game. Seen around the skins, at least 1 sheet of them. But I'm not so sure about that one she's throwing.
So Canada looking to pick up their first point here in the game. Could even make it 2 if this draw is really good by Isabelle Neron.
It's got to be really good. It's close.
Looking really good.
Close that they can get.
But just going to stop a little bit too short. Canada will score 1 to at least be on the board before the halftime break.
Get on the board and meet with our coach Jim Waite at the interim here and see if they can regroup. Spain playing awfully well, taking a 5-1 lead into the second half of this game.
Yep, players will have a couple of minutes break, so will we. We'll be right back with the highlights from the first half of the game, so stay tuned for that.
Here are highlights from the first half of this game. First end, Spain all over Canada throughout the end. They did miss with a guard, but Isabel Neron wrecked on the guard, giving Spain a steal of 3. Spain jumped out to a 3-0 lead early. It was all Spain again in the second end. So Isabel Neron facing a Swiss rock right there, trying the angle raise for 2. Missed that shot. Another steal of 1 for Spain. Third end, Isabel Neron trying a double for 2 after Spain was in a good position. Over curls, removes 1. Another steal of 1 for Spain. Head to the fourth end. 5-0 Spain at this point. Canada lying 1, and Isabel Neron comes down to try to draw for a second counter. Tough shot, and she's just about a foot short. 1 for Canada, so we head into the fifth end with Canada down 5-1, and Spain having hammer as we play 5.
So actually the first time we see Spain with hammer in this game, and they're already 5-1 up. So interesting to see what they're going to do with that. And now it's Isabel Neron to play the first come-around freeze.
This looks heavy as it passes right in front of us. Coming down a little bit, it did sort of dig in right there, and now it's going to be a really nice shot. So Isabel Neron, starting after a tough first half, comes back with the perfect freeze on her first shot in the fifth end.
Canada, no, yeah, Spain's about to follow. Surely thinking Aranzo Garcia could miss this tight and just split the guards.
She does. She has been tight, if anything, when she's missed. Seems to throw have a slightly softer release than her teammate, although this looks, again, like she's getting a little more rotation. This looks heavy as it passes right in front of us. We're sitting right next to sheet A here. So as this rock goes by us, it looks heavy.
Starting to curl there, but needs to sit down.
Like Isabel Neron's, it's fudged in a little bit there. I might be seeing a little fudging within the slide path, because both those stones, the players thought they were heavy, and they appeared heavy as they went by us.
So if Canada can find the inside of this yellow, they would be angled up quite nicely.
The flop, you heard that? In the first game we covered, Canada and Italy.
Yep, la ligne.
A quick call for line.
T-line!
Desjardins says he has T-weight. Isabel Neron didn't like the line out of his hand. He is tight to the guard. I think he's all over the guard. We've seen an awful lot of that in this game. By both teams, actually, but from everybody perhaps on the ice except Sergio Vez.
Yeah, and he is allowed to start playing takeouts now. They are 4 points up. Question is, what do you do with that bundle in the forefoot?
I think a nose hit on the red. Nose the red, stick your shooter there, or in the rings anywhere. You have 2 in front of the T line.
Sale por ahí.
Ya, pero el tiempo.
Ya. Quitamos esta guardia.
Vale.
O la otra.
Mejor la otra para esto.
No, pero por dentro.
Electing to run the guard in. So you're playing the guard in or a straight peel? I don't know what the peel accomplishes, because it seems like the rocks in the rings are exposed.
Yeah, might as well just throw one straight down there.
I have no idea what he's playing with that ice, so we'll see here. He's been far more clever than I so far.
Set.
I think he is going through the hole. I think he just put the brush there. Yeah. Oh, made the double peel. That was his call. And certainly a viable one.
That makes it perfect.
Yeah. good execution of that. Now all of a sudden Canada's either guarding early or trying to bring another one in a place that where Sergio Vez can't move it.
I think they were talking about drawing another one in just on top of the red. It seems easier to do it from the other side, though.
Yeah, it would.
Might just be a guard.
The way that yellow rock is, the way that Yellowstone is situated. The outturn would seem, if you wanted to come down on your own, the outturn would seem to be the natural way to play it. They may just be playing the guard. Tough to guard a single stone without sweepers on ice that moves this much. I'd say they're playing into the rings.
Back 4. Back 4.
Needs a curl.
And Isabel Arancio Garcia is actually motioning for the freeze. I think they should hit something again. What do you think? I think they can hit that high red and clip the other red.
Claro, cuanto antes me la cargue mejor.
Well, they're hitting the other one.
I think they could hit the red that Robert Desjardins just threw and might get some action on the red shot rock.
Yeah, might at least squeeze it out in the open.
Yeah. This may not be all bad either, but
Whoop, whoop. Set.
it's a pretty good result.
He keeps proving us wrong, this
Yeah, I'm going to
young
bet on.
Spanish guy, and he's also executing extremely well today.
I think I'll just keep betting on him and against me. Canada could. Robert Desjardins is looking at hitting his own. Sitting right there. It wouldn't be bad either. Lie 1, 3, 4. You heard the roar, that's from sheet C, where Italian just made a big shot. Big double. Scored 2.
Maybe even 3 to catch up to Korea, who have a 4-1 lead over there.
Going hard for line here. This looks like it's over curling too. Doesn't want it.
Not bad.
I kind of agree with him. Not bad. That isn't a bad result.
Well, could Sergio Vez hit that top red one, get rid of 2 or even 3 here?
I don't think he can get rid of 3, but he's proven me wrong a number of times already, so he's going to make a play on the outside red. I think if he hits the outside red, his yellow should catch the red that's shot rock, squirt out to the side. He'd widen up this, increase the scoring area. May not be shot after this is done, but that's probably not that important at this point. Certainly playing without with conviction. That looked like about his worst delivery so far, though, actually. A little bit of a wobble.
It's a bit tight.
A little tight.
Told you he could get rid of 3.
Indeed, he almost did.
Thank you.
Robert Desjardins scratching his head, as I would be if I was out there right now. It's a great shot. Actually, a bit unlucky that other one didn't go. His teammate went to sweep the wrong one first. One of those ones where so many rocks are moving, you're not sure which one to sweep.
No, still, though, it really made it open for Arancio to make sure they score here. Isabel Neron needs to get rid of this yellow first.
Yes. Too long. Yep.
Oh, really, curling don't want to stick it.
Wow. So certainly more comfortable for Spain now just to hit for one. Of course, a blank end does you no good in mixed doubles. You lose hammer and don't score. So they want to take their one, hit and stick. Of course, I'm sure the Canadians would have rather had her looking at two.
O sea, hay que sacarla. Irán, te marco aquí. O sea, es esto.
Fais des belles shots, le petit espagnol.
Vale, sales, ¿vale?
Sí.
C'est une belle shot qu'il a fait, papa.
Línea sobre todo porque se cruza.
Ya, lo importante es sacarla.
Sí. Atenta al giro, ¿vale? Que si no se cae.
Sí.
Looks like they're going to play this with quiet weight.
Un poquito más.
And maybe just discussing what she's most comfortable with. Of course, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't really know, but...
Nor do I. Well, she's throwing close to control, perhaps.
Yep, seems to be curling nicely here, though.
Should move just enough. And there's one yellow. So Spain never really in big trouble in that end, and took one, and at some point they can just exchange points like that and be pretty comfortable, exchange singles. Do we want to look at the other sheets, Sarah?
I would love to. China, they started off taking 4, and Romania started to climb back and got 2 points, but China took another 4 right back, so they're leading that game 8 shots to 2, and they're currently lying 3 well guarded as well, so seems like they're really getting a grip on that game. Korea, Italy tied at 4 points each after Italy made a really nice double. Finally, the Swiss are really giving Russia a hard time, and I need to count because the score's not up. They're up 8 shots to 1 currently in the 7th end.
Defending world champion Swiss team already at 2-0. So you need to find their groove early here in this event.
And since Martin Rios is partly Spanish, he was having a good chat with Iranzo and Sergio before this game, so it seems like he passed on a little bit of wisdom.
Yeah, he gave them a high five too just as I was leaving. Wish them luck. Apparently his father is Spanish, Martin Rios.
Va abierta. Va muy abierta. Está fuera.
Canada trailing 6-1 and having the hammer here in the 6th end. They're going to have to do some scoring. This is not a good shot here, though.
No, break for Canada.
After starting a few of hers, Aranzu Garcia sort of set that one out, and little heavy, more than a little heavy. Desjardins is coming out, catching these rocks about halfway down. Calling hard for line. Line looks pretty good now, though.
And weight looks good, too.
Perfect.
It's an excellent shot from Isabel Nero. She made a great one in the last end as well.
Maybe Canada is catching on.
Got a lot of work left to do. So they're going to catch a Spanish team that is playing very well. We see Sergio Vez has played in this before. He was 4th in 2010. He was 11th in 2011, and he was 18th in 2012. So despite his play today, or tonight, he has been moving in the wrong direction in results. But boy, when you watch these team play right now, they look like they're contenders. This rock seems to be over curling, though. A lot. Now there's a staggered guard setup, and that is not good for Spain. I think the in-turn for Canada, right on top of their own, suddenly lie 3.
Yeah, you see so many quick turnarounds in mixed doubles. With this being such an aggressive format, Canada just a chance to get right back into this game.
We'll see if Sergio pulls out another peel or triple that I didn't see. That you saw though, Sarah.
Well, I am the mixed double expert analyst.
You are the mixed doubles expert analyst. I, however, am undefeated in international mixed doubles play.
I don't know which is coolest. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to announce my retirement from mixed doubles play. Retire undefeated in international play.
Well, you've never won a game either.
Fair point. I have not won a game. Had an excellent tie, though. They're going to have to go on this. Robert saying early, oh yes. This is curling and short.
Do you think the ice is maybe a bit different on this sheet or something? Because the teams are struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling mightily. And we saw in the last end a couple of early come-arounds that both teammates, all players thought were heavy, sort of fudged in at the end. So it might be a little slower, or perhaps it's just curling a bit more in the slide path. But a lot of rocks over curling like that. And now Spain, I mean, even if they hold Canada to 2 in this end, they're in pretty good shape, and they can certainly do that with a good shot here.
Niñas buenas, sit. Sit. Sit.
I think Sergio Vaz needs to put just a little more effort into his sweeping. What do you think, Sarah? This kid is working hard on everyone. I love it.
I'm just shaking my head. He's really working hard.
And
with good results.
It's a pretty good shot.
I love to see efforts paying off.
Now Canada left with, I think if they could move free their red up a bit, is really their chance to score more than 2 here.
And if you're Canada and you have a chance of scoring more than 2, it's probably a good idea to try and take it.
Yeah, I think they really need more than 2 at this point. Down 6-1, playing the 6th end. I think even if they get 2, and you know, then they have to steal their way in, really. So they need more than 2 here. It will finish enough that he could get to at least nose of that yellow, maybe even inside.
Back 4. Back 4.
This rock looks like it has a lot of curling to do, though. And judging from Robert's body language, I think he just realized that. Yeah, that is not going to be productive. Jim Waite is
just
kind of figured
like
out.
He wants to be someplace else, maybe.
Yeah, Robert Desjardins kicked the table, but fortunately didn't catch the knee of Jim Waite. He's frustrated.
So we're going to see some timeout and coach interaction with Rebecca Atkinson, and
we might be able to understand her.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's listen in.
Maybe playing a freeze here, or trying to take at least one of them out with a hack.
I mean, obviously it's great if you can get that out, but if you come around on this one with weight, it's like, you know, you're going to have to play a lot in order to hit that one onto that one onto that one, right? Your shooter's going to roll open.
Yeah, I know, and maybe they can hit and roll.
Look at, just based on the scoreboard, okay, if you give up 2 this end,
yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
So, I mean, do what you like, but I wouldn't, that's a hard shot, and you have a pretty good chance of those 2 sticking around and you rolling open and giving them a double for 3.
So we play here, and it's also good here.
Exactly, because you can
hit it
and you're blocking
the draw. Yep.
So, and then you always have a draw around.
So it's better to be a bit short rather than going off to T, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember the scoreboard for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Remember what you want to be able to just...
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the scoreboard.
I'm not sure I totally agree with this call, but I do like the I do like the advice to remember the scoreboard for the rest of this game. I think that was a good thing to say to this young Spanish team. They've got a 6-1 lead. Rebecca Atkinson, if Spain goes on a bit of a run here, could become the preeminent mixed doubles coach. Picked up as the event begins.
So what call would you have liked?
Well, I don't know if the hit is that bad a call, the way he's been throwing it. I think you do get rid of one. But, I mean, I guess he closed down the rings fairly effectively here.
No pasa.
They're going to
Clip the guard, but still end up in a
Yeah,
pretty good spot.
Not a bad spot. I mean, it's certainly difficult to see how difficult for Canada to figure out how to score more than 2. And actually that hit, the intern hit, was pretty tough.
So are they going to try and come through the port here?
I think that's the call. Try to come through, and it's a small port. Or is he going to go right around the yellow that just ended up there? You can bite this. You can get to you can be full 4 and buried, and be third shot. Have we seen anybody out this wide yet?
No, not on this side.
Ice might be a little crisper out here, actually. Calling early for line. I don't think they've had. Yeah, he's trying to go around and just talking to it. He needs to warp in a bit. Shot was definitely there, just to get full 4 behind the one that Sergio Vez just left there. Overswept.
Pero ahora igual se hay que tirar así.
I think now you need to block that off. And that is Canada's route to 3. They can get in there before them now.
Yeah, just need to stay
Giro, Irán.
rather short than heavy here.
If they touch the top 4, it would be pretty good.
¿Dónde?
Behind the guard.
Es como 4 o 5.
Que pase, que no se te quede, Línea es muy buena, vos. ¿Dónde está?
4 o
So
5.
I think that means line's good.
Oh, no.
4-5.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Exactly.
Oh. Set!
Easy.
Oh.
Well, I think the same shot Robert just tried is still there, actually, but
Yeah, I think so, but they don't seem to think so.
I mean, I guess if they play this in turn, they throw T-line and hope it finishes at the end to catch enough of the forefoot for 3.
So at least 2 for Canada, making the game a bit tighter.
This is one in traditional curling where you tell your team to just sweep for the T-line and hope you catch a bit of finish at the end to get enough of the forefoot.
And who do you say that to in the mixed doubles?
Say that to yourself. I think their shot's definitely there. Canada needs this 3.
Yes, Nelly. Yes.
Early call for line. I think it's going to be short.
Yeah, this is where we've seen a couple of stones just kind of grab and sit down. It's going to be the same for Isabelle Niron. Score of 2 for Canada, though.
6-3 now for Spain as we head to the 7th end. Spain holding hammer.
If they can score here, they certainly will be looking good for the win.
Yeah, a single here for Spain would pretty much put this away, I think. There we see our score after 6 ends. Spain 6, Canada 3. I like how this umpire here brings the 2 rocks out. You see that? Slides out with 1 in each hand. I think he actually propels himself from the hack, really gets out there in a hurry. I like it.
Well, he's probably had some time to practice, and it might be the most exciting thing he gets to do.
Sarah, do you want to bring us up to date on the other sheets and the games underway?
Absolutely. Switzerland looking really good against Russia. They got a 9-1 lead there. Korea, Italy, still quite close. Korea got 2 in the 6th, so they're up 6 shots to 4. And China stole another 2 on Romania to lead that game 10 shots to 2.
And in our feature matchup, Canada's first stone coming into the rings. Looks a little bit heavy. Robert Desjardins is off it. This is where others fudged in, though, right here. Fudged a little bit. Tops it just slightly. Angle not ideal, but Canada now shot rock.
So what is an ideal angle?
Well, I think you want to get more to nose on that one than they are.
And now Spain and Iranzo Garcia can try and find the inside of the red, creating that better angle for them instead.
Iranzo Garcia at 63% so far for the tournament. Not sure what her numbers will be like for this game. She's played well at times, and then also had a red light, and that's a great shot. That's a winner. Also had a red light and a couple of hogged rocks, but has made great shots like that in between. So
I think they may be struggling a bit with the fact that she was throwing them quite soft in the beginning, just getting them moving, curling a lot, and then she's kind of adjusted, and it just kind of took them a while before they also adjusted the ice for that.
I think that's true, Sarah. I think she did adjust her release. It looks a little more positive than it was early in the game, and her teammate has been throwing everything out to the positive release we like to see on championship ice. Robert Desjardins at 51% for the tournament.
He was really, really good in the first game against Italy, but had a bit of a struggle against Switzerland. And this has been quite a tough game as well. He didn't look happy with this out of his hand. And
says not bad, but it seems to me that Spain could hit that. They're going to peel the guard. Like it.
Tell us why you like it.
Well, they're up 6-3. They've got really just Canada doesn't have a great setup in the forfeit. They peel the guard and certainly give themselves a good opportunity. They only have to score 1 in this end to win the game. I don't think we've seen Sergio miss a peel yet. And he's made a double peel as well.
And almost impossible triples.
Yes. And I think now if Canada comes in, Sergio blasts again. And leave themselves a good opportunity to score their single point and take a 4-point lead into the 8th end. Guess they're playing the freeze on top of their own, or freeze right into that pocket.
They are freezing the pocket, like between
the red and the yellow there, yes, in the top forefoot.
Just kind of hoping that with the blast, they're going to get left with something that maybe they can guard.
Proche. Proche. Hard, yep! Hard! Hard! Not bad.
It's not bad, but I think Spain blasts again. This is Sergio Ved's second shot. He will be throwing 3 shots this end.
Vale.
I want to find just a little bit of the inside on this.
Whoa.
I'm not sure if he's going to do that. Not the worst results.
Nope, gets rid of 1.
It's difficult to see how Canada doesn't leave something for Spain that relatively routine to get 1, but they're going to have to make a play at some point on these yellows. It's interesting. This is such a new format that I think, you know, even a very experienced player like Robert Desjardins, he's played this to win in Canada. I think there's still times when you're not exactly sure how an end unfolds in your head, and I think over time with this format, people start to figure it out. But I think even with the most accomplished curler, you're not always exactly clear in your head how an end might play out. Maybe that's part of the excitement of it, Sarah.
Well, definitely. I think a lot of the excitement is how the ends turn out, and you always get a lot of stones in play. So I guess it's really good training to learn a lot about angles and take that into your regular curling game as well.
So I think he's playing hack here, and I think he'd like to leave, the 2 yellow stones in the back there. Possibility of a jam. Just move that front yellow to the back 8. Chip the other one over a bit. It's a little more than hack. Hack loose. Now he's saying it's hack. He wants to catch that other yellow. Yeah. That's actually
a really nice
really good shot. Really good. She's a terrific shot.
It leaves that yellow in a really good spot where the red will catch it.
So I think Sergio Vez is looking at hitting half of the one he's got the broom next to. Let's see how far he can spill that red. That's almost touching the button.
Poco menos.
He's throwing a lot of big weight shots since they've got this big lead. Well, leaves Canada line 2, but certainly a better situation for Spain than it was. And it looks like Robert Desjardins is signaling for a timeout. See what Jim Waite can offer them here in this timeout.
Or even a little bit more, so that if he hits it, he's going to jam. Well, just in front of it. Then if he tries to double, he jams.
It's our last rock.
Yeah.
If we go here,
Yeah.
I think she'll draw.
Well, straight back then.
Just, like this. Maybe my shooter right here. She tries to hit on this one. might go right in between.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And what you're saying is if we hit there, what you're thinking already?
Well, then if he, I don't think he'll play that.
That's her last shot. You think she'll what?
She'll try and get to reduce the number.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, if just to try to
Well,
hit, then
just-
that's the
then
good.
just-
That's the shot.
Yeah. Just leave a half of it open.
Yeah.
And you tap it back.
I agree. Okay.
So, as Joan McCusker might say, a good discussion. And looks like they're going to try to top this red back towards that yellow. Robert Desjardins thinks that Spain will draw with their loss. What do you think, Sarah?
Well, maybe. Iranzo seems quite a bit happier with throwing the draw rather than the hit. But against 3, I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's going to depend on the angles and what's going to be open here.
Canada with just under 7 minutes as they play their last shot of the 7th end. See if they play it with some alacrity here to not take too much time off their clock. Of course, 6 minutes to play the final end is plenty of time in mixed doubles. I don't think they'll play the draw even if they're facing 3 Canadian stones. I think they'll look for a double at least. And even if they give up 2, at least carry a 1-point lead with hammer into the 8th end. And I think that's what Jim Waite was trying to express to Robert Desjardins, that he didn't think they would draw. Robert Desjardins says they don't want to cross this one over curl. And that's true, because if they do cross that one, it would certainly make it much easier for Lorenzo Garcia on her last. They want to stay on the high side. They definitely want to stay on the high side. So they're going hard on this because it is over curling. Exactly what he didn't want to do, I think. Well, I don't know what you do with that now. You might want to just leave it, right? It's actually not the end of the world where it ended up.
3.
Yeah, they're sitting 3, and there's not an easy hit to score.
No, they're just looking at tapping the yellow up.
Certainly a risky play, but they can't hit anything and be shot. They might be able to hit the top one and roll, catch a bit of their own yellow and spin in for shot, but they're going to play without a lot of discussion. They're going to play this tap.
Oh yeah, they could also play hit and roll off of the one.
That's what I mean. Play the hit and roll on that. Are they playing the tap or they?
They are playing the tap, or else that's a lot of ice
for the motion to the red. I guess he was saying that if they over curled, they could come in off that red. That'd be a bad miss, though.
Really important shot here for Lorenzo Garcia.
Big shot here. They're carrying a 3-point lead. They score here. They pretty much sew up the game.
Oh, this is short.
Is it that much short?
Curling.
No, it's close. It's close to the. No, you're right.
Steal
and
of
a steal of 3 for Canada. Big steal of 3. Wow. Oh, geez. I was so excited there by that result. Not excited, but suddenly it's been an exciting game. 6-6 now. So we head into the 8th end.
It's gotta be tough for Spain with that lead.
Now
just feeling Canada breathing down their necks, and quite a frustrated Sergio Vess. He's been having a really good game, and just a bit of a struggle for Iranzo. They're having a little meeting to team up here, which I think is probably important.
I think they needed to remember the words of their coach Rebecca Atkinson from the end prior, who suggested that remember the scoreboard the rest of the way. I think they could have hit and rolled for a shot or second shot, and at least limited the damage there. Could have come off their own with a roll and scored one. So I think the hit was definitely the play there. Now we'll see this last end tied up. Canada energized. Spain needs to regroup.
Meanwhile, we've got 2 X's on the board. Switzerland ran Russia out of stones, and so did China playing Romania. Korea, Italy, still pretty tight. Score there is Italy 7, Korea 6, and it is Korea with last stone in the 8th end.
Isabel Neron comes up a little bit short, over curls a little bit, but top 8, not the worst place to be.
No, definitely not in a bad spot. Sergio Vez asking for the freeze on their own. They could surely afford to be a bit short and just angle freeze that red.
Asking for the freeze and sighing a bit there. He tries to gather himself.
He's shown a bit of frustration and thinking it might be hard for her aunt, so she knows that she's struggling, and her teammate is kind of sighing at her as well.
Well, he's played awfully well, and but he can't let his frustration show, because you're right, that will affect her confidence.
4-5.
Atento, mirando la casa. Whoa.
4-5.
Set. Whoa.
Which is a pretty good number here, actually.
Yeah, and she's got some good line.
Good line. She's going to... Actually a good shot. Although, Canada can promote that one now. Well, we won't see our first extra end in our feature games.
Well, they are tied, so it won't really be an extra end.
As I said, we won't see our first extra end.
Sorry.
Yes.
I will listen a lot better from now on.
That's all right. Yes, I guess they could accidentally blank, though. So, you know, it looks like the blank is probably not happening at this point in time. Big shot here if he taps it right onto the and welds it on the place stone at the back of the button. Spain will have some challenges.
Léger.
Yep, you gotta go. Oh, sorry,
Ça va être
just pass it on. It's fine. Pass it on.
Oh, looks short, this one too. We've seen them be short on that side a lot of times.
Yeah, they haven't, and well short on that side. I don't know if it's one side of the ice is a little different than the other and no one's caught onto it, or...
Well, he was going to tap, and he's playing a high guard, so...
Yeah, I mean, that rock he just threw is about 15 feet short. And I tend to think he's a better player than that, so... but on this side, you're right. Nobody's been close. Aranzo Garcia did she almost hog or hogged one on this side, and perhaps this intern side going this way is slow. Of course, we haven't played the outturn side in the other direction all that much either, have we?
No, but I think they have been a bit more accurate there. So the question is now, do Spain guard this? Or they could get rid of the red, but that would just leave Canada with a better freezing opportunity.
They could start guarding for their life here and use the place stone, count on the place stone to be the one that wins the game for them.
Es que si yo la pongo aquí, ellos van a venir así y tapo una aquí. Es que están muy altas. Solo voy a quitar una. Y ellos van a intentar el mismo tiro.
Spain with 5 minutes and 35 seconds on their clock. Canada with 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Are they calling the guard here? I think they are. They were also talking about coming all the way into the rings. But you might risk just helping Canada with a tap if you set up a bad angle.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to either chop off your own and leave it in a bad spot, or... It doesn't look like guard weight out of his hand, though, is it?
No, but remember, this seems to be the
slow side.
Whoa, Iran.
Yeah, it is the slow side. Out of his hand in front of us, that looked like a lot of weight.
And curls a lot too. Is that tap still available?
I was going to say, did he take that away? I mean, even though the red stone is actually over buried behind the guard that just was placed there, maybe available. It will finish hard. Of course, now I haven't seen anybody come close with weight on this side, so. Now we're looking at a double peel.
It's not what you want to be playing when you need to steal, but how do you get in there if you're Canada?
If he makes a double peel and he still has a chance to lock one on later. Not exactly sure what he's called here. What do you think with that ice?
I'm not sure. Is he playing some sort of hack weight to try and come down to the red that would over curl and be on the guards with that weight?
Yeah, it seems we'll have to see what he does, because I'm not sure what he's playing here.
Whoa! No, 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 pas un coup. No. No. No.
Over the top de l'autre.
Well, he's going to try to move yellow onto the red, I guess. Hopefully spill that red of his into a better spot. So Sergio Vez will elect, I'm sure, to guard again. Maybe leave this guard a little wider. You know, they could throw the guard with the other turn here, right?
They could, but then again, they've not thrown a single stone down that path, so might as well do what you play here where you know what it's going to do.
It just might be easier to get it a little wider if you played the other way.
Yeah, you're absolutely
so you're right. It is a real guess the other way at this point, because so much of the play in the mixed doubles is from the outside in.
Poquito fuerte, va un poco fuerte.
Sí, asegúrate que pasa, ¿eh?
Wow.
Sí, sí, sí.
Pasar, pasa, es solo línea.
And you see it really grabbing the curl there, just slowing down. This is going to be a bit wider though.
Yeah, it is a bit wider. I think Desjardins might look at the yellow, red, yellow.
Complicated, but possible. And we have an extra end between Korea and Italy. They ended up being tied at 7-7.
Big shot. Could be difficult for Canada to score if Robert Desjardins doesn't make this shot. Doesn't like it out of his hand. Straight peel. So Sergio Vez will guard once more. He really needed to get some action into the forefoot with that. With a well-placed guard here, I don't know what Canada's going to have. In fact, you know, I mean, I think this one, if you can be a little less wide with it, would probably be good. A little tighter to the center line. Nothing in the wings for Isabelle Néron to come in off of. Sergio Vez takes a breath. This could be the shot of his career right here, Sarah.
Yeah, it could be the final shot of, well, there is the final shot of the game for him, and he's had a very good run, so just needs one more good one here. And then he's done pretty much all he can.
I think it looks like it's going to be about the same spot. Thing is, I think Isabelle Néron will have the same shot that Robert Desjardins just tried. It's about all she has. That's why if they could have sort of tucked that one a little bit. Might not have been bad.
Comment?
Juste une petite affaire à côté du nez.
Montre-moi où.
Hein?
Va me montrer où.
Ah, sur la jaune? Juste là.
OK.
So it's the yellow, red onto the button. Play. Yellow, red, yellow. The shot is not made. Spain scores 1 and wins the game. Calling for sweeping early. It's close.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. She made it. She made it. Actually may have overswept it just a tiny bit, but a brilliant shot by Isabel Neron. Here's the replay.
Absolutely amazing. Look at this.
Sweeping it hard. Maybe overswept just a hair, but nonetheless. Sits 1. Half of the button. Robert Desjardins thrilled with his teammates' play. His teammates' shot. Sergio Vez looking what he has left. That was a tremendous shot considering the stakes and the situation.
Pero ¿cómo vas a meter un drop por entre las dos piedras? Pero es que encima te quitas la tuya.
Still open though. I mean, it looks to me like it's.
¿Me vas a decir que es mucho más fácil tirar un takeout por aquí que tirar un draw aquí?
See, there's the draw to the button, or I think there is a hole there to come through and get that red.
You could also come off the yellow on the left-hand side there and remove the red.
Yeah, the yellow in off. I think the hole is there though to get through and spill it. You might. I think you can get enough to nose that you won't jam it. But it looks to me like they're electing to play the draw.
Well, I don't speak Spanish, but Sergio Vez seems very determined here.
I think they could have taken a closer look at this hit through the hole with the intern. Here she goes. She needs the button. It's the button for Spain. 6-6, 8th end, last rock. It's on its way.
I'm actually really nervous now. It's been such a
This has been a terrific game
for Spain.
She's close.
Oh, maybe a little bit hot
It's
here.
a little solid.
Will it be enough if she stays on the back one?
Oh my goodness, we can't see.
I think it's
I
yellow.
think it's Spain with 1. It looks to me as if it's yellow.
Oh dear.
What a terrific game and a terrific finish. 2 good shots to finish the game. I don't think Robert Desjardins imagined that that's how it would go. He thinks he's pretty confident it's yellow, but I think he's going to ask them for a measure nonetheless. Look at this. Here's the replay of it. She had plenty of weight, but good line. And I think Sergio Vez was confident that she came to the nose of that one. That would be the result. Yeah, I think it's definitely yellow. Don't be careful there.
And Sergio Vez is just
He's
hiding with Rebecca Atkinson
he's
now.
Beside himself back there. This is a measure that you really want to be careful with too, by the way. What a terrific contest. Spain opening up a big lead, hanging on. Isabel Neron making a great shot to force Spain to throw their last rock. And Aranzo Garcia making what I believe was a great shot to win the game. And Sergio Vez, I think, thought it was there the whole time. Thought that if they came to nose, they would be shot. Oh, I don't like the.
Let's be accurate here.
Robert Desjardins seemed pretty convinced it was yellow, but asked for the measure nonetheless. Exciting stuff.
Well, you gotta give credit to Canada for making the game really close. They were really struggling in the beginning,
Yep.
And there you see it. It's definitely yellow.
Definitely yellow.
Spain will win the game.
Spain wins 7-6. And the biggest upset we've seen so far here at the 2013 World Mixed Doubles Championship. Stand by for interviews with what I'm sure will be an elated Swiss team. And the interview, Spanish. Yes, an elated Spanish team. I'm so stunned by this win that I called them Swiss instead of Spanish. But yeah, great win for Spain. And they really well-deserved. Sergio Vez played a terrific game. And stay tuned for the interview with them and highlights coming up. There's the line score, and we'll have highlights and an interview on the way. So here are highlights from the last four ends of Canada-Spain. Fifth end, Spain leading 5-1. And facing one Canadian stone in the rings. They hit for one to take a 6-1 lead into the sixth end. In the sixth, Canada trying to draw for three. Had two in the forefoot. See Isabelle Neron with her last shot trying to draw for three, but she was short. Canada takes two to close the gap 6-3. Playing the seventh end, Spain comfortably in control until this. Spain facing three Canadian counters, elects to play this angled top on the yellow. Lorenzo Garcia throwing it. It's on its way, but she was light, over curled, and allowed Canada a steal of three. So we headed to the eighth end, tied 6-6. This is Isabelle Neron's first shot, last shot of the game, last shot for Canada. A great double raise to sit one. To sit one on the side of the button for Canada. But Sergio Vez was confident that it came back to this back yellow stone that Spain would be shot. Lorenzo Garcia's shot, great line here, looked heavy, but they knew that if they got to the nose of this, they would be shot. There was a measure, and indeed it was one for Spain on the measure, and a 7-6 victory. And I would have to say that has to be the biggest victory for Spain in their rather short curling history. So a terrific game played by Sergio Vez and Lorenzo Garcia, and a nice comeback by Canada to make a game of it after being down 6-1.
Congratulations. I don't think I'll be the only one saying it's a big deal you beating Canada. How does it feel?
We feel really, really good. It's really important for a country like Spain to beat Canada. And we know that we have many supporters in Spain, so we are really, really excited.
Great. And before that last shot, what were you thinking in the hack?
I was like really nervous. I've been playing quite a bad game. I didn't feel like really good. I wanted to play the hit, but he told me like, you have to play the draw, you've got the draw, make it and you're gonna make it. So I just tried and did it.
So what were the keys you think that you're gonna bring on to your next games?
I think we were really constant during the game. We've got the draw weight, which is really important, as our coach told us. So we think that if we continue playing like this, we'll have many chances of winning some more games.
I definitely think you will. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.